I heard that little herb gatherer has written out a whole set of behavioral rules for herself. She may be small, but boy, has she got her head screwed on. She's definitely destined for greatness. The young of today shall outperform us tomorrow, as they say. I must admit, she has my respect. Ganyu is kind and thoughtful. It's just a shame she's so busy all the time. Most of the time, she's buried in an endless pile of paperwork, the only exception being her nap at noon. Don't get me wrong, I have to put in some hours at work too, but I'm happy with the job I've chosen, and it's certainly a lot less taxing than hers. The Feiyun Commerce Guild is one of my oldest clients. Their approach to business is meticulous and thorough, and every business meeting I've had with them has always been attended by the head of the house himself. Last time, though, I happened to meet their youngest, xingqiu. To my complete surprise, the lad had no trouble whatsoever keeping up with my train of thought. He was very eloquent, too, and had excellent manners. Definitely not a simpleton. I always hear people saying that the director of the Wangshen funeral parlor has an unorthodox approach to business. They think she's gone a little non-compos mentis after being in the funeral business so long. What are these people talking about? The Wangshen funeral parlor provides a legitimate and necessary service, which is the cornerstone of any successful enterprise. Work is just work. There are no good and bad jobs, or lucky and unlucky jobs, just jobs that need doing. If I had one gripe, it would be that the director rarely comes to me for legal advice. Mr. Zhongli has so much in-depth knowledge on so many topics, he's like a walking library, you know what I mean? He's a total savant, though he never flaunts it. I could tell just by looking at him. People like him rarely shy away from taking on complex problems alone, so in my estimation, he's certainly not a potential client. And yet, somehow, I can't help but think I know him from somewhere. It's hard to describe the feeling. I asked my father about it, and he just said something to the effect of he didn't know either, though he seemed a little evasive. It was so strange. Anyway, makes me wonder if my father is hiding something from me. Alright then, if he won't tell me what's going on, I'll just have to find out for myself. You must have heard of the Tianquan ningguang. She's the highest authority where the law is concerned, and often makes amendments to the legal codices. Every round of additions, retractions, and revisions generates mountains of material. Why, the latest edition of the legal codices contained 3 new laws, 121 revised legal annotations, and an array of new legal precedents. Archons know how long it's going to take me to commit them to memory. Still, she's a businesswoman at heart. I'm not about to let her beat me when it comes to the law. Once I finish memorizing these, I need to step up my productivity. The Yuheng doesn't deal with matters of the law, and thank goodness. Knowing keqing's attitude toward work and ruthless efficiency, I'd end up losing a lot of work. Although, no, surely it wouldn't come to that. She's a stickler for doing things the right way. No doubt she'd offend people. But if she had someone like me as her legal assistant, no way. Why should an eminent legal expert such as myself be relegated to the role of assistant? If she needs legal counsel, she can come and find me. Eula saved me once, and we've kept up correspondence ever since. She's very familiar with the Knights of Favonius' legislation, but has never been one to be bound by convention. She uses cunning logic to deal with problems flexibly. Perhaps the reason we get along so easily is that I'm a similar type myself. Still, I'll never acquire that carefree spirit of hers. We are in very different professions after all.
Amber's someone who thinks for herself. On the day I first joined the Knights, she cleaned my dormitory and gave me a tour of the headquarters. And she's helped me with a myriad of other things in the time since. Now, everyone looks at me like the older sibling who needs the younger sibling to do everything for them. For this, she must pay. The acting Grandmaster's family and mine are sworn enemies, but she draws a clear line between professional and personal matters. She saw I was capable, admitted me into the Knights, and gave me lots of opportunities. So, when the time comes for vengeance, I'll afford her a reasonably soft landing. Everyone loves her. What's her secret? Maybe I could learn a thing or two from her. Or maybe not. I can't imagine a shining idol would want anything to do with a descendant of a depraved dynasty. The Grandmaster. He doesn't like to beat around the bush and has no care for rumors or trivial matters. A good guy, I guess. I sparred with him once, which ended in a tie, but his relaxed expression and leisurely attitude clearly indicated that he had been holding back the whole time. Such indignity. I will not let it go. I heard that bard sing a few songs about the Lawrence clan. They were light-hearted and funny stories that mocked the clan in a way I've never heard anyone else do. Even I couldn't help but burst out laughing. And for this, he must pay. Free from social mores and other people's opinions, and no family obligations. Must be an easy life. The Alchemist. She once gave me a piece of equipment and told me it would help me infiltrate an Abyss Order camp undetected. In reality, it caused a huge explosion that completely blew my cover, and before I knew it, I was being accosted by 13 Mitre Churls. Afterwards, I marched straight back there, intending to make her pay for what she had done. But when I saw how panicked and sheepish she looked, and watched her post her results on the wall with the word fail, I couldn't bring myself to go through with it. After all, I didn't get hurt, just a little disheveled, and a little humiliated. I don't get along with some of the Knights, and he doesn't think much of them in general, so you'd think that would make us allies. But the way he always acts so aloof, he's even worse than acting Grandmaster Jean. I want nothing to do with him. Diona? She's a miracle worker when it comes to making cocktails, and to my surprise, we get along really well. She infiltrated a tavern with the hopes of tearing down the wine industry, while I infiltrated the Knights to exact my revenge on them. A kindred spirit, it seems. This one's a long story. We ended up saving her life once when we were tracking down a batch of dangerous cargo that belonged to the Abyss Order. The Abyss Order had packed it up like regular cargo and wanted it shipped from Dorman Port to Liyue Harbor. She was acting as a consultant for the merchant vessel, where she discovered something in the cargo, and then began to investigate, putting herself in grave danger. Had we arrived just a few minutes later, it's likely she wouldn't have been so fortunate. We've kept in touch ever since. I like how smart she is. She knows the rules, but she also knows how to be flexible and act according to the situation. A few of the Knights would do well to take a leaf out of her book. Also, with her smarts, maybe she could help me track someone down that I've been looking for. She does owe me a favor from last time, after all.